Hello everyone, Warren here again with the Peach State Prime Transformers channel. Today is March 17th, 2026, St. Patrick's Day. Thank goodness I got green on. Anyways, there was a drop for Transformers Tuesdays, and that is pre-orders went up for Age of the Primes Monstructor, all as a gift set. And I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on that. This set has been leaked through various outlets prior to dropping today. However, we do have our best look at Monstructor and the individual, I forget, what are they called? Monstercons? Monstructor. Okay, Pretender Monsters. I had to look it up on the wiki, tfwiki.net. So, as you can tell, Monstructor is not one of the figures I have a lot of familiarity with, nor did I own it at any point in my life, though I've always been familiar with it. So again, just kind of want to give my thoughts on this latest Age of the Primes release. So first off, this is not a full-size combiner. I know I might get some flack for saying that. It's not a full-size combiner in the sense that all the limbs are, you know, either a deluxe or a bigger size class or price point. They're legend scale. I believe this has some ancestry with the Legends class Dinobots that came out a few years ago, as well as the Dino King set, both of those being combiners. And, you know, Hasbro just continued to retool, reshape the molds a little bit to fit the look of Monstructor. So initially, I'll be honest, I've been kind of on the fence about this set. You know, I do think the combined form looks really good. The individual bot modes, I think, also look pretty good. I like the colors on them. They look very reminiscent of G1, you know, style figures and looks. Though, again, with that modern twist, that modern upgrade. The one thing that these do not come with, and if you recall back in G1, they were the Pretender Monsters. So they weren't, you know, your full size, about what, 10 to 12 inch Pretender shells. They were a little bit smaller, probably, you know, I'd say close to a, maybe a deluxe, a small deluxe, think Wind Charger, figures like that. And they would have a little figure folded up inside, just like all Pretenders did, except these inner robots, these inner figures that would come out of those shells, would also combine to form Monstructor. And now in this release, we do not have Pretender shells, which, I'll be honest, I don't think anyone expected them. I don't know if any third-party companies are planning on doing them. I understand they're quite expensive to make, so if they do come out, I would expect that to cost a pretty penny. But again, I do think that the individual robot modes look pretty decent here. We get to the monster modes or beast modes, whatever you want to call them. You know, there's some licenses taken. You know, I think, and you'll have to excuse me, I still don't quite know all the names, because again, I've never owned the Pretender Monsters. I believe it's Icepick, which is this gold and purple one. Or actually no, it's this one here. This one, it's mostly gold. And if I got that name wrong, I apologize, and just tell me in the comments. But I think that one leaves a little bit to be desired. The one in the middle here with the axe. The other one that I think looks pretty bad, and I'm pretty sure I have the name correct. If I don't, again, I certainly do apologize. I believe it's Wildfly um, versus Bird Brain. It's the red one that's obviously a bird, maybe a partial off a swoop. And again, I don't have Legends class swoop with me. My younger son owns him. But I will say I don't like how you see the robot face in the monster mode. It's very much just like putting on a hoodie on a transformer and saying, "Hey, it's a beast mode." And to make matters worse, they have him holding his gun in this shortened mode where you see his robot head. That's supposed to be a monster. So I don't know. Maybe it is kind of monstrous. So um, I do think that one looks probably the worst of the bunch. Um, as far as any of the beast modes or any mode, to be honest. I do think he looks pretty good in robot mode, though. Actually, he looks excellent there. I think the rest of the monster modes are just fine. It's not that far of a cry from what we got from in G1. Speaking of G1, looking at the combined mode of of the original toy, because my initial reaction was, is this figure any better than what we already got way back in G1, in the late 80s? And after going back and looking at a couple pictures, I have to say, yes, this is a monstrous improvement over that G1 figure. Again, strictly speaking of the combined mode, um, I think this Monstructor, the Age of the Primes one that we are now getting, is a lot closer, to what we've seen in some of the more modern comics, what we all think of when we think of Monstructor. Um, whereas the other one is very, very static and very blocky. Now, G1 known for being blocky, but this kind of took it to a whole nother degree, despite even being a smaller um, a smaller combiner even for that time. Um, so will I be getting this figure? I don't know yet. I guess I kind of want to see a little bit more about it. Um, more when I say about it, maybe some reviews after people get it. It's due out in August. Pre-orders again went up today. Um, I I think the thing that hurts me the most with saying yes, I'm going to get this figure is the fact that it is $90. Um, the argument can be made. Okay, look, you're getting a total of 6 figures here. They're a combiner. Um, you maybe have some extra decos on the figures, potentially some extra accessories, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I have to look at this as, these are Legends class figures. And, I don't believe there's a Legends assortment out right now, but that is the size class of these figures. And the last time we had Legends class figures out, the going rate was MSRP was around $10. Sometimes they were upwards of 12, but where I was comfortable spending on them were when they were typically $10. And if we use that as a benchmark, for 6 figures here, that would work out to $60. There's an extra $30 built into this price point, which makes it a little hard for me to swallow. Again, I think it looks great. If you decide to pick it up, that's awesome. Nothing against that. But I do think $90 is quite steep. I think top of the mark for me would have been around $70. If you want to adjust for, again, tariff pricing and all that, I think $70 would have been, an extra $10. So, using that $10 logic, you would be paying for 7 figures and getting 6. However, you have the convenience of having the entire set in one box. So again, I think that's worth the extra $10. 90 is just really steep. Judging from, again, just how big they are and how tall. Now, again, what we haven't seen out there, in all fairness, is we haven't seen Legends class figures hit by tariff pricing, because there are none out there right now. So maybe, if Hasbro were to put these out, if they were individual releases on the shelf at retail, maybe there'd be a little bit more to add up to that $90. We don't know that. I don't know that. So all I have to work with is the last time these were out there. So that's why I'm saying, $10 to $12. Most of the ones I bought is when they were priced at 10. So that's the only thing really holding me back from saying, yes, I want to buy this, because I do think it looks great for what it is. I personally would have preferred to see an individual release, a collect them all sort of deal. I know a lot of people probably groan when they hear that, but it allows me to budget a little bit more, break the cost up, even if it worked out to $90. After every payday, I could pick up, one or two, and then other Transformers I'm interested in, other things I collect. And not to mention, food and stuff to support my family, paying bills, things like that. I actually, taking a step back even more, I actually would have preferred to see these guys, with some slight tooling improvements, blown up to deluxe class. Not as a box set release like this, because who knows how much that would have been. Probably at least $150. But I would have liked to have seen these, again, scaled up to deluxe class size and just released over a few waves of toys. And I know that's a risky proposition for Hasbro. We still haven't seen the G2 Stunticons completed, mostly for that reason, with Motormaster not having a home, and figuring out, and it took Hasbro forever to get the deluxe class figures, kind of slid in to those releases. And I'm talking about the legacy releases in Generations. But again, that's what I would have liked to have seen, is the ability to collect these, even if it took a couple years to get that bigger Monstructor. Even though we've never had that anywhere else as a toy, I think it would have made it stand out even more. But anyways, that's kind of my thoughts on Monstructor. I'm not saying I'll never end up with it. Maybe it'll go on sale one day, or maybe I'll see it, a review and a video by someone else, or even at a convention somewhere, and I might say, yeah, I kind of need to add that to my collection. But for me personally, just based on price and price alone, I'm holding off. But again, by all means, if you find that price works for you, that's awesome. You're going to have an awesome figure for your collection, I'm sure. And but I do invite everybody to share their comments in the comment section of this video. What do you think of this Monstructor? What do you think of the price point? And how do you think it compares to the original? And of course, if you like Transformers content, I invite you to subscribe to the Peach State Prime Transformers channel for more content like this, reviews, other thoughts, pleads to Hasbro as far as what to make. All good things like that. You can subscribe again. If you like this video, this discussion on this figure, please give it a like. And if you like travel videos, again, I do have my original channel, Peach State Prime Southern Travel, where I do take a look at local attractions throughout the South, some restaurants, unique stores, including collectible toy stores, some events, so all good things like that. You could check that out. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video and listen to me ramble about this Monstructor toy. And hope you have a great day, and God bless.